Hi friends, my name is Leslie, I'm a Dominican and I live in Poland, and today we are diving into the life of one of the most important figures in Polish history, John Paul II. But before we dive into it, please take a moment to subscribe to my channel to learn more about my journey in Poland. You've probably heard about him as the first Polish Pope, but there's so much more to his story than what most people know. Stay with me and we'll uncover some little known facts about him, why he is so significant to the Polish people, and how his legacy continues to shape Poland today. John Paul II was born as Karol Józef Wojtyła in 1920 in the small town of Wadowice, Poland. Growing up, the future pope was an excellent student, loved theater, and had a deep passion for poetry and literature. A fun fact is that he once considered becoming an actor or a playwright before deciding to become a priest. But life in Poland wasn't easy during his youth. His mother died when he was just 9 years old, and later he lost his father and brother, leaving him as the only surviving member of his immediate family by the time he was 20. The young pope also lived through the Nazi occupation of Poland during World War II. It was during this time that he studied for the priesthood in secret, risking his life. The Gestapo even shut down the seminary where he was studying, but he continued his education underground. Imagine that, preparing for being a priest while living in a war-torn country. It shows how resilient and determined he was. Fast forward to 1978, Karol Wojtyła became the first non-Italian pope in over 450 years, and the Polish people were beyond proud. At the time, Poland was under communist rule, and having a Polish pope brought a huge sense of hope and pride to the nation. His election as pope was a game changer, not just for the church, but for the entire world. One of his main missions was promoting human dignity and freedom. And as a fun fact, John Paul II spoke 12 languages fluently, and I'm here struggling to learn only one. He spoke Polish, Italian, French, English, German, Spanish, Portuguese, and several others. One of the most memorable moments in Polish history came in 1979, when John Paul II returned to Poland for his first pilgrimage as a pope. Over 1 million people gathered to see him. His message: do not be afraid. The Polish communist authorities were acutely aware of his influence and sought to discredit him through propaganda and even surveillance, fearing that unifying power that he represented. His papacy didn't just offer spiritual support, but played a tangible role in fostering the conditions for Poland's eventual transition to democracy. John Paul's II visit played a crucial role in the birth of the Solidarity movement. Additionally, the Pope maintained discreet communication with Lech Wałęsa and other Solidarity leaders, providing moral support and indirectly facilitating international attention to their cause. His ties with the Vatican and the global diplomacy helped ensure that the repression of Solidarity remained in the global spotlight, making it harder for the regime to silence the movement without international backlash, which led to the collapse of the communism in Poland and eventually the rest of Eastern Europe. In a way, you could say that he was the spiritual leader of the revolution. Many historians believe that without John Paul II, the fall of communism in Poland would have taken much longer. Which helps explain why you can still see his face in most Polish houses. While doing the research for this video, I also wanted to find some interesting facts about him to share with you. For example, did you know that he was an avid skier? Even into his 60s, John Paul II would sneak away from the Vatican to hit the slopes. He loved nature, often going hiking and kayaking during his free time. Also, he survived an assassination attempt in 1981, but what's less known is that he forgave his would-be assassin and even visited him in prison. That level of compassion and forgiveness became a defining part of his papacy. John Paul II was also the most well-traveled pope in history, visiting 129 countries during his papacy, including trips to some of the most remote and conflict-ridden areas. His global outreach made him a true people's pope. And I can remember that every person in Dominican Republic, even when I was born, still spoke about when he visited us. For the Polish people, John Paul II is much more than just a religious figure. He is a national hero and a symbol of resilience, faith, and freedom. Even today, you will find his image everywhere in Poland, in churches, schools, and even in public squares. He is affectionately called the People's Pope, not just because of his humility, but because he helped Poland rediscover its identity during a time of oppression. His legacy continues to inspire generations of Poles to live with courage and conviction. Every year, on October the 16th, Poland celebrates John Paul II Day to honor the anniversary of his election as a pope. It is a day of remembrance and celebration of the values that he stood for. After passing away in 2005, John Paul II was canonized as a saint in 2014, making him one of the fastest canonizations in modern history. His sainthood is seen as a continuation of his work, spreading love, faith, and hope around the world. So there you have it, the remarkable life of John Paul II, from a small town in Poland to becoming one of the most influential figures of the 20th century. His legacy is one that continues to inspire millions of people around the globe. If you enjoy learning about John Paul II and want to dive deeper into Polish culture and history, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and that like button. And as always, let me know in the comments what you found the most interesting about John Paul II's story. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!